First live stream of the Tempo. We're glad to have people join us on this live stream. We've got Voidhidden tonight. Awesome band. They're going to play a bunch of songs for us off their Mesmer album and then off their EP. It's called self-titled EP. So that's Voidhidden EP. And then afterwards we're going to have an interview with them and talk about their music. So this band's pretty awesome. I'm hoping to have more bands on here. So if you're checking us out tonight, reach out to me on the Facebook page, Twitch, YouTube, whatever you're watching on. And if you're a band in the Lancaster County, York, Harrisburg area, let me know and we might get you on here. These guys hail from Mechanicsburg, and I'm going to give it on over to Austin, their main lead singer.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having us out here. It's a pleasure to be able to do something like this. We don't normally get to stretch our legs this way, so we got a couple songs for everybody. This first one's going to be called Night of the Solstice, and oh, you're right. The first one is Prince of the Mire. Yeah, so that's good. Got it.
Mulligan.
Stretch out before you know knowledge of what will arise to silence. Gods perish, they die devoured like morsels of children. Silhouettes spot the sky. Remnants of masters who long ago died. Hold you fast, seal your heart on fire. Minds are a change, but they come to the dark.
Thank you very much. We hope you liked that one. That one is titled Prince of the Mire. It's about a little man who goes on a little journey and has a bad time. If you've ever had a bad time on a trip of yours, maybe that's a little similar to you.
I'm also a little man.
You're a pretty little man. This next song, it's titled Moonwalks. Moonwalks is one of my favorite songs we play because it's got a lot of cojones, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that. This is Moonwalks.
Just like you, me, you can't trust what you see. But in night time, everyone grows into beasts, trees. You look for the beast. Cast off your bones, all your crowns. Cast off your bones. Come
Thank you very much.
Woo!
Greg, you want to tell them about this next one?
Yeah, I do. This next one was written before I even joined the band.
Yeah?
This one's called C for Cadaver. It teaches you your alphabet, your ABCs. It's in a series of songs. We're going to do 2 prequels. A for Autopsy and B for Badunk.
Yep.
B actually stands for beverage.
B stands for
There you go. Let's go.
Ready? Ready?
Strings woven through bones, twisting and tugging, but it's better than being alone. Dancers, marionettes, making offerings to their mother. Dancers, shrugs off its shell, lost boys to see with those eyes calling me out. Monster, you bastard, left in the dark for the light. Ice flowing through veins, creeping its freezing, but it's better than being away. All I can offer to you is a swift death to constant love. Cancer runs off its shell, the lost boys to find. I'm eating inside a hollow cadaver, and you will see that you're mine, calling me out, you funky bastard. Lost in the dark for the night. Ever to us, ever to us. Ever to us, ever to us. Ever to us, ever to us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For those that don't know, that is Mr. Andy Schaefer over there on lead guitar,
That's Andy. He's great.
I'm Andy. It starts
tickling.
with an
And it ends with
E.
We'll work more on your alphabet later. We write a lot of songs about the moon, and that is of no singular person's fault. It's not mine. I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's
I didn't choose to do this.
Definitely not yours.
Well, thank you, Greg, for agreeing with me. This next song is one of those songs that is not my fault. It's called Lunar Facade, and it's one of our earlier works, but it's an oldie but a goodie. I'd hold its hand on a nice summer date.
I'd hold John Travolta's hand.
Royale with cheese.
Sickness has taken over my body. Can't you win it? Send me to that cold and lonely. And it's a comfort. Deep jaws open to swallow. And send me to the very, very low. Right behind this face.
Spank you very much. Woo! I need some high quality H2O.
That's a good point.
You know what movie that's from?
Waterboy.
You got it.
Air Dog, you got it.
Yeah, I said Joe Montana.
So, this next song, it's called "The Mark," and the reason it's called that is because it's about gambling. Well, it's not about gambling. If it was about gambling, it would be way cooler. But if you ever found yourself getting a little too deep with the sharks, you know what I'm saying? And sharks don't make that noise. It'd be horrible. But yes, this next song is called "The Mark," and we hope you like it a lot, because...
Oh yeah, mama.
Thank you. I hope you like that one. That one put some sauce in the air. Smell all that sauce? Marinara sauce?
Put a little hair on your vest.
What? Hair on your vest?
Got it.
It'll make your dead leather vest grow hair. That's gonna be the name of my solo album, Dead Leather Vest.
First track, grows hair.
Yeah.
That's ironic. I'm gonna have another one. It's gonna be called Hairy Knuckle.
Oh, okay. We could tour together. This next one, it's called 144 Homestead, and this song is actually about a haunted road in where I grew up. The road was called Homestead, and there was a house towards the end of the road that everyone was like, you know, the house, the Boo Radford house. You don't go. Yeah. Well, this song is about that house.
Brush your fingers on the frame, pressing the door that lightning wind whispers softly out your name. Now the door swings open, step inside your welcome within Ave Maria, looking for the answer to your prayers. Ave Maria, reaching for the answer to your prayers, but the answer's never there. The door swings closed behind, seamlessly sealed. Rafters painted, I believe the carpet crimson blue. Wallpaper brings to the hallways like patience to deathbeds. Escapist the dream you'll never see. Now you're floating down into the cellar. You're forgetting Ave Maria, looking for the answer to your prayers. Ave Maria, reaching for the answer to your prayers, but the answer's never there. Looking for the answer to your prayers. Ave Maria, reaching for the answer to your prayers, but the answer's never there.
Thank you. I hope you guys like that one.
Really gave that one a walloping.
Yeah, really took that one out back and showed it a rubber hose. You know. What, your parents never hit you with a rubber hose? Me neither.
It's one of those extendable ones that looks
Oh,
significantly longer than this, so you
I'll
can't
extend
run.
you.
And when you spin it around, it does the whistle.
Yeah.
Whew, 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 whew. So, Andrew, do you know what the next song is?
Yes, I do.
Tell me what it is.
Sunder the Night.
You are so correct.
Part 1. The Beast from War.
The Beast from Wator.
Yeah.
This song's a scary one, so you might want to put the kids to bed before this one. They'll have bad dreams. Ready? Whenever you're ready, Captain.
Shadows slowly creep across the valley tonight. Still the Acropolis it orbits, abdicating its light. You see the castle slowly rising out of the haze. The villagers they scream in terror of mistake. Soaring from the belfry it descends on the town. It looks stopping for the boom, its wings they don't make a sound. It is from the river and the area problem. Rocking on the river, so let me in. Oh, let me inside. I'll show you my devotion. You've even brought me to my knees. So reassure me your emotion. So won't you come and drink with me? Shit my blade, I always rise with the sun deep. Exposing as a god, so I'm devoted to one. I just want the heathens will be angel as well. My crusade has just begun, so it's his will. Soaring from the corner, simply slide through the door. Hear you screaming through the hallway as I open the door. There is voices screaming, I can find something wrong. Talent stretching my tongue, so now you're next. Oh, I'll tear you apart. I'll show you retribution. I'll even bring you to your knees. You'll never find your absolution. Your ashes scattered to the
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, I got some sweat in my eye. Got to fight those sweat demons. Back, sweat demon, back.
So like Austin said, we are Voidhidden from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Sweat demons.
We released a self-titled EP quite a few years ago, 2 years ago. We're going on our second year of Mesmer, which is crazy to think about. We put a lot of work into that, and unfortunately we weren't able to give it the release we thought it deserved because of this.
Thanks, pandemic.
Thanks, Backstreet Boys reunion
Because
tour.
of the Backstreet Boys. Yeah, that's right.
Also, rip Aaron Carter.
Oh,
R.I.P. Aaron Carter.
For
that's
sure,
for
though.
Lamar Odom, I ain't never gonna forgive you for this.
This next one's definitely going out to Aaron Carter. But if you like what you hear, you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. We love playing this music, and we're glad that some people like listening to it, so we can keep doing this.
I love you.
Yeah, what Andy said, I also love you. This next song is called An Incantation. This one's about a bunch of people coming together to do something that they think is the right thing, but you know how that goes sometimes. Aaron's party.
This one goes out
Yes,
to
sir.
Aaron Carter.
Wake up and find your senses, child. Bound yourself aloud to choices, dire work, the light. Welcome to your home. This steel on stone seems bounces slower. I felt them deep for eons. Forgotten places, yearning to feast on your demons. You toil away, you grind, a servant to their song. Ten praises, hear their voices rise. You know it won't be long. 10,000 angels be their hunger. 10,000 echoes burst forth with hymns like thunder. I felt them deep for eons. For God's embraces, burning guns on your demon. Take freedom, their cross. It's yours by what cost, and one by one they restless void. These words in time, 12 verses, one line.
That song really put the nails in the coffin. In the coffee. Put the nails in the coffee.
Yeah, shout out also to Nailbite. Next week we're going to be at Love Drafts in Mechanicsburg. The
That's
brewery.
true.
Black Friday.
Black Friday, everyone. Come out or I'll pull all your hairs out.
That's true. He'll pull your hair up, but not out.
I'll pull your hair out.
They use the bones for money.
That's true. But
What, it's just
also
going to look
the
like they're
worms.
perpetually have like a static shock?
Yeah, like a Super Saiyan.
Oh,
Yeah, Super Sand.
Whew. This next song is one of our earlier pieces. It's called Eyes Beyond Eons. This one's a little muscular, a little rough, a little wildcat. Yeah.
I love that this is going to be recorded forever.
Oh, well,
And
good.
I get to go back and
Yeah. Whenever you're in the nursing home and you're like, remember that time Voidhidden played in minutes?
And Austin made the cat sounds.
Like that.
Yeah, okay, Grandpa. Time to get you back to bed.
Shut up, Grandpa.
This next song is called Eyes Beyond Eons, and maybe we'll get a little sweatier.
Ready?
Eyes
That was the first time we had played that song in, like, live, in a live setting.
That's the first time we've played that.
That's the first time we ever played that song. It's been years.
Yes, that song was cycled out of the rotation for a while because it was so popular that we played it too much.
Everyone was like, oh, we love that so much, we're going to kill you.
Oh, yeah, so we had to
I don't know
stop.
where all these people were. I was at these shows.
Oh, well, Greg, you know.
Show yourself.
Everyone was like, we want to talk to someone
Everyone
who's not
but
Greg.
that guy.
He looks like he's a lawyer.
He'll sue me.
So we have 3 songs left, just 3. The next one that we're going to play is...
Not 4, we got 3. We got one more than 2 and one less than 4.
This song is called Deep Calling, and I'll say it now because I've said it every other time we played it. This is the first song we've ever wrote. Eldritch roots carved into stone, distant cries and breaking clouds. Let the ocean taste your skin. Fathomless fears they'll drag and pull from within. You'll be ocean, but I'll be the night. And it's speaking of frozen. They demand your life. Grab your family, grab your roll, grab your shoes and stop this song. Grab your shop, grab your roll, grab your shoes and grab your family, grab your roll, grab your shoes and stop this song. Grab your shop, grab your roll, grab your shoes, yes, and the rocks. You'll be Thank you. Thank you more than very much. Thank you all of much.
Olive juice.
Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice?
Oh,
Okay, I won't.
Candy
What if I say basil, guys? Okay. I'll tell you when you're older. We got 2 songs left. 2, count them 2. Pretty soon there's only going to be 1 Angel. And then what are we going to do? Then it's Night Night Forever? I was unaware. This next song is called Tyrant. It is one of our older songs, but it's one of my personal favorites.
This one goes out to Gabe.
Yeah, this one goes out to Gabe. He knows who he is.
Gabe's great.
Ready?
Yes.
Slipping deeper into slumber, falling faster, diving under, demons reaching out to me, beating hearts that need a plea, crawling faster, loyal tighter, oh my God, we've got a fighter, visions reach my naive eyes, take his hand, your free will dies, but oh God, but no, but I'm gone. Choosing one offers you, giving into my desires, breaking branches slowly. I have sorrow in my empty chest, and feel like the hornet's nest. But oh God, fuck yes, but I'm gone.
Thank you very much. That song makes me feel like I got 2 hearts. I got tiger blood.
Tyrant blood.
I got tyrant blood. I got Mike Tyson blood. I got Tyler's blood.
Oh no. Who the fuck is Tyler? Hey, we have one more left, and I don't know about you guys, but I've had a blast.
This has been wonderful. I had a
This has
great
been
time.
A ton of fun. Matt has an awesome setup. So thank you very much to you guys. Check
Yeah,
out
for
Real
sure.
We just posted his page on our Facebook. He has a great setup here. This is an awesome thing that he's doing. We're so honored to be a part of it. So thank you for having us out.
Maiden voyage.
Summer is fading, we're dying on the vine, but autumn is creeping, slowly crawling from behind. The leaves they fall and though they cover rotting leaves. So why don't you come see what I've got hidden up and down these leaves? She weeps to find her lying prostrate in the street. Her eyes are closed, but she never sleeps. You round the bed, listen close. She said with autumn pouring out, her eyes bones breaking and over red. Casting spells with meteorology and control this weather inside of me. Casting spells with meteorology until you find it out below. Casting spells with meteorology can control it. You're inside of me. Casting spells with meteorology until you find it understand. Atop the peaks, it's old memories. Christmas from the old ones echoing the answers you see. And this bow flows from countless eyes that pierce the lies we tell ourselves, but secrets never know. Now these hearts so bold spell out the tune that follows avariciousness and amazing greeting. Oh, casting spells with the meteorology can control this weather inside of me. Casting spells with meteorology until you find it underlow. Casting spells with meteorology can control this. You're inside of me. Casting spells with meteorology until you find it understand. I Mr. White Christmas, I Mr. Snow, I call from their dead. You're, I miss the red Christmas, I miss the road. Chase misses red Christmas, I'm just back in town. Now some spells with meteorology, they control this weather inside of me. Yes, some spells with meteorology, yes, and you'll find it down below. Spells with meteorology, they control this you're inside of me. Yes, some spells with meteorology, yes, and you'll find it under snow. Mountains or down, there is a bounty. Mountains or down, there is a bounty. Mountains or down, there is a bounty. Mountains or down, there is a mountain. Mountains are down, there is a mountain.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All of you guys for coming out. Like sick set, man. So much for having really appreciate you guys playing. Can we get you guys on for an interview here in a couple minutes? Sure. Got my cans on. We're gonna play a couple recordings while we set up. We got to move some stuff around. Probably be back with these guys live in 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes. Couple videos. That's all we are. It's just Aaron Carter. All we are is Aaron Carter's on the wall.
Well, shit, now we look like shit. Compared to this, in this economy, we look like shit compared to this. What's up?
Still got Hey, there we go. All right. You know what? I'm gonna take.
There you go. Now you're hot.
All right.
You're real
It's
hot.
alright. It's all right. I'll move. That's fine. Give Dylan all the.
I just want something.
Oh my gosh.
Very
Oh
my gosh, Phil.
I just want to be comfortable.
I just want to be loved.
I'm just trying to get by.
Do you want me to take your
Trying to
arm
get
out?
by. Trying to get by.
You want to get
That might be better. I got the
You
mic
take Andrew.
off of this camera.
You want to get fucking stuck and lit it?
Is that any better?
I don't think you
Because
do.
we're gonna
think
do
you're good.
that.
You're gonna have to go home with Greg and sleep with his cats.
Yeah, I think you're good. You're still alive, bud.
I don't think Poe.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think.
okay.
I don't think Poe.
All right. Now let's see.
Share space like that.
Let's see if we can get that video going again. And then we'll get the rest of this. All right, cool. I think we're good to start. Then we should be able to hear everything.
You guys.
Trippy. All right, Trippy, guys.
Should I set this?
Nice.
Should I set up my phone and go live from our page? Because I have like, I have like my tripod.
Hey, while we're sitting here, guys, why don't you introduce yourselves to the cameras? Tell everybody your names, where you play, and whatnot.
Sure. You want to start, Greg?
Yeah, I'm Greg. I play guitar, piano, and do some vocals.
That was Greg. I'm Andy. I play the guitar and sometimes I do vocals.
My name is Austin, and that was Greg and Andy. And I
Round
do
robin style.
I do lead vocals.
My name's Dylan. That was Greg, Andy, and Austin. I play bass.
I feel like we're at like a corporate retreat.
Yeah.
So
The
that was
Dundies.
Greg. That was Andy. That was Austin. That was Dylan. I'm Tariq, and I play drums.
Hey, Matt.
We all primarily hail from around the Mechanicsburg area, or at least did at one time. Greg.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to do stuff like
So
this.
you really only have two
Um,
switches you gotta look at.
We play a lot of shows in the central PA area, but it's very rare that we get to do a cool stream type.
Yeah.
It's our first time doing this.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
It was cool though.
You don't have to do all
No, it
that.
is cool.
Just move
I,
around every once in a while.
I think we all had some fun, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with
You
my
can hold
hands.
mine.
No.
Oh,
You old John Travolta. That's what you said.
oh, that's right. That's right.
And he's not here, obviously.
So how'd you guys come to meet each other? Like how'd the band form?
Oh, many moons ago.
Many moons ago. What was it, 2016, 2015?
I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
Me and Dylan and Andrew are original members of the group, and we started just playing a couple songs here and there, and we've just found ourselves like having a good like rapport with one another, and then we started just really floating the idea of playing music together, and we thought there's plenty of people that do it, and we're not bad at it, so why don't we do it? And here we are. How many years later? I don't know what year it was, but we added Greg.
And the band went immediately downhill.
Oh yeah, once
Immediately
Greg
downhill.
joined, it really
Oh,
turned
yeah.
into a
Oh,
mess.
Straight to the fucking gut.
Engagement diminished
Yeah.
immensely.
Litigation picked up though.
Yeah. And I went to high school with Tariq, and we were good friends through odd circumstances.
Extremely.
We came together through girls and a mutual love of the Eagles, and so we
And music.
and also music.
And also music.
Fly, birds, fly.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Go
I know that.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Football,
Birds.
soccer.
Go my favorite sports team.
Yeah.
Go my favorites. Yeah, go birds.
But yeah, I didn't really know Andrew and Dylan that well until probably like 2 years before we got together.
Yeah, we met through mutual friends. Dylan and I specifically, we've known each other since, what, middle school?
Yeah, about 8th grade.
Yeah, about 8th grade, and we kind of have been on and off playing music together for just about that long. And we had been playing in and out of bands probably up until, about 2015-16 when we initially met Austin. And I found out that Austin sang, because up until that prior, I had been singing and playing guitar, and I'm kind of a dog shit singer, pretty much.
Oh, you stop
But,
that. You stop that right now.
Then we heard.
I found out Austin
Yeah,
could
we
sing.
heard
I heard him,
Austin
I was like,
sing
oh,
some Michael
damn, this guy
Jackson
can
karaoke.
sing. And I was like, let's get him to sing in the band. And then, he agreed to, and here we are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is there's other members that came and go. This is the current
Yeah.
best
Current-
iteration.
Current
That's right.
iteration. That's right.
Well, I think no matter what you look at, the current iteration is usually the best iteration because you get to be doing it, right?
Right.
I mean, you can say anything you want about the past and like however things are and how things have changed stylistically, but right now is probably my favorite time that we've been together because we're just pumping out more content and like aligning our like
chakras
and our music styles together, just kind of
guys.
making something unique that we're trying to just do stuff that you don't really see all the time.
Yeah. And so I guess where I came in was about a year ago. I mean, almost to the day. Actually, it was the
we're creeping up on that.
Yeah, we are creeping up on that. Yeah, like Greg said, we went to high school together. We've been in multiple bands together previously, and when he joined Void, just mutual friends. I came to like a lot of their shows, so I was friends with them first, and then I was like a fan too, because I was like, yo, this shit kind of tough. Like this music's kind of nice. Like I could get down with this. So yeah, I'd go to shows and I told Greg, hey, listen, man, if there is ever a time where y'all need like anything, like let me know and I'll try to help, like the best that I can. And yeah, it was late November on a Wednesday. He called me and was like, hey, you know how you always said, like, you'd help us out? Well,
We need help.
Yeah, we need help.
So you kind of became the night of the solstice, right?
Yeah.
Pretty close to the solstice.
Yeah, you
coming up.
could say that.
Yeah, the song's
I
about
guess you could
Tariq.
say that.
It's about him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, that's a great
Greg
song.
called
too.
up. He called him up, and immediately, without looking at the phone, Terry picked up the phone and like the Terminator. He was like, "Dun dun 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 dun." I'm ready.
I'll be there right now. I'm actually already there.
Yeah, so that was a fun process. Learning all of their like discography, and everything like that. Trying to get up to speed to so because I didn't want to like hold them back like too much coming on and everything like that. But I think the one thing I felt like from like day one was, bro, we just had fun. Like it was just so much fun. Like,
Yeah,
from
if
day
you couldn't
one.
tell by the stream, we're kind of lackluster comedians also.
Yeah.
We're the worst comedians in music.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought some of what you was talking about was funny. Don't pretty funny right now.
Well, that's appreciated.
All right, then anybody who says otherwise can fucking suck me.
Yeah, I'm working on my tight 20. Trying to really kind of get things.
I'm
down.
trying to nail the tight 5 first.
I'm trying to get my tight 20 down so that I can be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go do stand up instead.
Yeah, honestly. That's where
Hey,
all the
dude,
money's
stick
at.
with singing, man. Seriously,
Oh.
use the stand up on your stage.
Oh yeah, they'll love that.
Yeah,
Shut
up. I know I would.
So speaking of like, let's get a little bit into the music. So you guys, I don't like to put anybody in a genre box, but what genre do you guys think you're in?
I'm
Is
of
it
the same ilk. I
Yeah.
don't normally like boxing us,
Yeah.
but from what we hear mostly, it's alternative rock, a little bit of metal.
Prog.
Yeah, a little bit
prog.
progressive. The big thing that everyone always says is, you guys sound like Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
And I don't 100% see that, but I do see where they're coming from. I do see it.
I think that primarily is directed at me.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because
correct.
I have a very similar vocal style, but I just one of my big influences was always Claudio. I love that band, and I've always found myself aligning more towards like upper register vocalists. So I obviously put a lot of that like influence in what I do, but also there's plenty of other bands that I listen to that have like high vocals, and it's just kind of always what I gravitated towards, and here we are, and that's why people say that, I think.
Yeah.
No, and Coheed and Cambria is a great band. They're
Oh yeah, it's not like it's
they're
bad
one of my
company.
favorite.
It's-
Oh,
bands.
no,
It's not an insult. We
yeah.
went and saw Coheed years ago. Not years ago, I should say. Well, 2
We were
or
like,
3
oh my
years
god,
ago.
they sound like us.
Literally.
Yeah, we're like, oh my god, they know Voidhidden.
Jokes aside, literally one of the best live bands I've ever seen in my life. Like, we're definitely fans of that band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them probably 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
They're amazing. I've been
they're
listening to them for
very good.
17 years.
Right,
since
right,
Second
right.
Space
Very
came
good.
out. So when I heard you guys at Phantom Power, I heard you playing Night of the Solstice, and then Deep Calling. I was like, oh my god, this is badass. I really like this music. So
Thanks, man.
I wanted to have you guys on here as
Yeah.
the first band because Coheed might be my favorite band ever. And not that I want to compare you guys to them, man.
No,
I
get it.
I'm really.
I'll take it.
I'm
like,
really-
yeah, like,
I think it's really cool that there's a band here in this area
Yeah.
that is putting this kind of music out, man. There's a lot of quality
I'm
in
not
it.
sitting here. I'll take you move those
sure.
over. I'm gonna sit here.
Yeah, that way we can see you on the camera. And actually,
well, no,
if
just so I can talk.
if I
see
come over
you.
here, if I come over here, you can see my face better because we don't have a whole lot of camera moves. So, with that kind of genre in mind, just doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I heard a lot of really, really tight things in here. But one thing that comes up because you guys are a Cthulhu themed band, you like doing the stories of Cthulhu in your stories. So is there some kind of story with your music right now, or is
That's
it?
awesome.
Yeah, so our first our EP was a little more experimental, kind of like trying to find that like genre that we really wanted to.
Yeah, it was kind of like finding our voice.
Yeah,
because
but-
we were such a new band at
Yeah.
that point, such a young band.
But once we got to Mesmer, I had a much more like comprehensive idea of what we were writing, and I tried to label it as like existential horror. Because there's a lot of like cosmic influences and a lot of like the Cthulhu mythos like stuff that does influence it, especially with like the visuals and things that we go. But,
Yeah, it's very much in the vein of like
Yeah.
Lovecraft and Odd Tales and things like that.
Yeah.
But from what I gather from your lyric writing, it's adjacent, but it's not specifically Lovecraft.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So like Mesmer's like great story, like overarching, I suppose, is that. It is all about like a world that's very similar to ours, but things are slowly going bad, and things that didn't exist like before, that only existed in people's like dreams and nightmares, are now like a realistic thing that they have to deal with. And the album just culminates to like this destruction of like their lunar entity, whether you call it a moon or call it whatever. And in doing so, it fully releases all of the things that are slowly like coming around. So it is very like I would say Lovecraftian in nature, but it is also of its own like ilk.
That was a big thing that we talked about when we started the band, because that's kind of where the name comes from. But we realized very early on, if we write specifically Lovecraft stories, we're going to run out of things to write about. So we kind of dispersed out and kind of made our own narrative in that vein.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I like story-driven songs. That's part of the reason why I like Coheed and Cambria. Other songs like I go way back to things like Johnny Cash, where they tell stories, Marty Robbins, like really really old stuff that you don't really hear a lot of anymore. So anytime a band has a story, I like to hear about it.
Yeah, that's always been. It really became a big focus for us when we were writing Mesmer. We wanted to have some sort of overarching story, because at least for me and my music taste, and I think I can speak for these guys too, story-driven songs like that are going to engage listeners a lot more.
Yeah.
You kind of build this mythos and you feel like you're a part of some story. So when we were putting Mesmer together, the obvious Lovecraftian elements were there, but being able to build that narrative through a whole album, I think, kind of took things to the next level, and we're working on doing that again, hopefully soon. So we love that.
Yeah, it's also for me, it's a kind of a way to like push myself by writing stories that I put like personal things that happen in my life, but I put them into a story form and kind of twist things and like use a lot of metaphors. So there's a lot of like realistic, like my own like real touch to the stuff. But it's all, you know, masked behind a story that is its own unique thing as well.
Yeah, like for example, we talked about Homestead. It's literally about a road near where he lived as a child.
Right.
Yeah, and on that, while we're on that song, I mean, I really love that song. You know, I told you guys when we were in here earlier, it's like that's my favorite song
Yeah.
you guys write. It's the least prog of all your songs.
Very poppy.
You know,
I mean, Mayfly. I don't.
Well, Mayflies is great too. I actually really like them. But I told you I'm more on the pop side of Cody and Cameron. So when you look at that band, they have a lot of the blends, which is what I really liked about yours is you have more than just one genre going on. It's not everything 7/8, 9/8. You know, you know, for 15 minutes. You know, I like shorter songs. Like I love prog music. I listen to a lot of Tool and Pink Floyd. But you know, it's something to have a nice tight song that has all the pieces in it. That, you know, really.
That's a big thing I think we try and go for too, because I would say we don't necessarily go for the whole progressive thing. It's just kind of the way things come out. But also, I think the big thing with us is having those hooks, having those big choruses, those big sexy choruses that like really latch into your ear when you hear it. So it's like we have all this crazy instrumentation and this weird crap going on, but then all of a sudden you hear the chorus and it's like, oh yeah, I can tap my toe to that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like music for people that like the technical side of things, but also you don't have to like I like Tool, but there's a lot of people that listen to them and they're like, there's a lot going on, and if you
Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, like Tool is like a band for musicians.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
And we like to fall into that, but we also like to be palatable to like the everyday person that likes the poppy type of stuff, which is where the big choruses come in.
Yeah.
So before we leave the Cthulhu universe, I have a couple of Cthulhu-related questions.
Well, let me
to ask you
Cthulhu
guys.
answer them.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, of all the TV and movies that are out there that are Lovecraft themed, like who has a favorite? Anybody have?
I have many.
Oh, I do too.
You go ahead.
Yeah, let's start with Andy.
I'll start with recently. So on Netflix, The Cabinet of Curiosities by
God
Guillermo del
damn.
Toro. There's 2 Lovecraft stories on there. It's Dreams in the Witch House, and then I forget what the second one is, but specifically that Dreams in the Witch House episode, just so good.
Yeah.
Guillermo, you crazy for this?
No, that guy is specifically like a lot of his media that he puts out in art in general is just very Lovecraft inspired.
Del Toro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even like adjacent things like Pan's Labyrinth, that's like 100% like Lovecraft themed. But specifically in that actual Lovecraft, The Color Out of Space with Nick Cage, great movie.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The Void, that's another just general like horror, cosmic scary thing.
Dagon.
Mouth of Madness, Dagon, yes.
Dagon's a great film. It's like the
There's just so many. Like, I can't. I'm trying to reach for them right now. I can't think of many.
If you get us talking about horror movies,
Oh, dude,
I'd be here forever.
So I can do horror movies forever, man. Like Reanimator's like one of my favorites. That's classic.
That I don't know why I didn't think it. Reanimator and The Beyond are my top like Lovecraft movies.
And then The Pit and the Pendulum with Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I mean, I have a question on here. So there's this one that came out 2014. I actually met the director up at Phoenixville. Like he came and he did a thing. They were showing the '80s Blob.
Okay.
If you remember that one, that's
that's one
really
of my
good one. That's like a
favorite
hardcore
movies.
Shawnee Smith's debut.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Before
we went and
Saw.
watched a screening of that, and I met the guy. So he wrote a movie called Call Girl of Cthulhu. Have any of you
I've
seen
heard
this
of
movie?
that.
I've
Actually,
heard
I
it,
haven't
but I've
seen it,
never
but I've
seen
heard
it.
of that.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've heard good things, but yeah, that's
It
not. That's not
sounds
what I
right
dropped
up
into.
Andy's alley.
Oh,
He
yeah.
loves call girls. He loves Cthulhu. He
Yeah.
loves conjunctions.
Exactly.
So I watched it. It's a great movie, but it's the guy, he lives in Baltimore. His name's Chris. I'm gonna butcher his last name. It's like McKellen, but I'm gonna put it in the link so that you guys will send it to you. You guys check it out.
Yeah,
But
please.
it's definitely a good Cthulhu themed movie. Just you got to watch out for some of the '80s staples. You know?
I was gonna say just by the name alone,
Which is the
it
name
sounds
alone,
like it
calls
the
up
best
like Hollywood
schlocky movie
Chainsaw
ever.
Hookers and those
Slumber
other
Party
movies. that are-
Massacre
yeah, Slumber-
3.
Frankenhooker.
Three.
Frankenhooker.
I could go on about horror movies. Like the funny thing, like I could just go on. That's
You're
not
in
why
good
we're here.
company.
I could just keep going on and on about them. I could do a whole podcast about that. But
For me, like some of my biggest inspirations, like I read like so much of like Lovecraft's work, and I love a lot of it. But truly, what put me on the whole path is My favorite book is one of my favorite books is The King in Yellow, which is actually a Robert W. Chambers like novel, and he was around probably like 10 or 15 years before like Lovecraft really started to write, and he's like the guy that invented like Hastur and Carcosa and all of these like very ominous like eclectic type things, and that has branched into a lot of other media that I love. Like my favorite season of television is True Detective season 1, and that show is so like in that vein as well. They do such a good job of like trickling in the mysticism and really kind of like hooking you in the is this real, is it not real type of thing. But yeah, those two in particular are really big for me. But also Reanimator is one of my favorites, as well as I really like The Thing on the Doorstep. That's a great like Lovecraft story as well. But I mean, I could go on about that stuff.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah, we'll be here all night going through Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Well, so, okay, so last question. Do you guys ever play like Betrayal at the House on the Hill or Call of Cthulhu RPG pen and paper? I used to play that in college.
Betrayal's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Betrayal's great.
I have Betrayal at home, and myself and Dylan and Andrew have played Call of Cthulhu like a couple times. I have like another group of friends that I also play like that with. I'm always the guy that's like running the game because I'm the guy that
You're the only guy that doesn't die.
I'm the guy. Yeah.
You're the only guy that doesn't die if you're running the game. That's that's the best part of being the game master of that.
It's nice to get your friends around and just scare the shit out of them.
When I used to play it in college, we like min-maxed it, so I had a character that me and the GM worked on to where he had like ultra high sanity. He never failed.
Oh my God.
Sanity ever. It didn't matter what it was. He never failed.
It's the best.
I think my character, when we played last, I think my character had a pretty good sanity. Like I remember Dylan specifically, his was like shit. Like Dylan was like a dummy.
Shit. He was Dylan was like a boxer or something, and he just tried to punch his way out of most situations. And if you know anything about that world, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I was only hospitalized like twice.
Twice.
There's not really much sense in leveling up. When you're
He's not talking about the game at this point. This is just how Dylan lives his life.
I put him in the hospital.
I use my fist to solve most things.
So I want to shift gears now. You know, Cthulhu's cool. We could talk about it for a long time, but I wanted to talk about your rigs. So I had you guys put your guitars up over your heads. I'm not. We can see your bass. We can see your sweet guitar. So I'm gonna start with you, Greg. If you want to talk about your rig and then your setup a little bit.
Yeah. So this is my baby of the moment.
It's not broken, by the way.
No, it is not broken.
No, it came like that.
In the last, I'd say, year or so, I've fallen in love with headless guitars like this guy. So this is modeled after a Strandberg, but it is not a Strandberg. It is the brand's called NK, and it comes out of China, and it's like a $400 guitar that plays better than some of my Paul Reed Smiths, which I used to go to. But I love this thing, crazy light on stage, really ergonomic. This is a Seymour Duncan Pegasus in the bridge. That helps to bring out a lot of those like big full chords that we use in our rhythms. And then this is just pretty much a standard single coil up here. I don't do much neck stuff. And then in terms of rigs, Andy and I really couldn't be much different. So I run a modeler. I use a Line 6 Helix that is just pretty much consistent every night. So regardless of where we play, regardless of what kind of system we have, I'm going to sound the same every time because I don't need to worry about miking up a cab. I don't need to worry about any of those little variables that can kind of throw off your sound. I plug straight into front of house and I'm good to go.
Which that worked out great, man. Like I didn't have to do anything. You just plugged it in.
Yeah,
you turned your output down, and we were good to go.
Yeah. Sound guys love it.
Really appreciate that.
They do. I mean, it's
great. You fucking teachers.
Sound guys love him. They hate me.
Yeah. No, we spent way more time trying to fix your guitar and the monitors than
Greg is always the easy one. He has the lightest guitar. He has the easiest setup, and mine is like. This is the Greg's like future spaceman, and I'm like Unga Bunga caveman. When it comes to rigs, we're like 100% opposite. Like easy like guitar. Mine, however, this thing, it's like a good 8-9 pounds. Obviously, Flying V, Washburn.
That's Dimebag's guitar company,
This is-
right?
It was.
It was. He
But
he switched to Dean like
during
somewhere.
so he was playing Dean's. He wasn't sponsored by Dean. He played them during all the early years for Cowboys up until Vulgar, and then far beyond. He started being sponsored, and he got all the Washburn guitars. After Pantera like disassembled, he was approached by Dean. So for a very short amount of time before he died, yeah, he was with Dean. But these Washburns are sick. This is actually the signature model of Greg from Mudvayne.
Oh,
Greg from
sweet.
Voidhidden.
Yes, Greg from
Also,
Voidhidden.
Greg-
This
Greg
is his
from
signature
Voidhidden.
guitar.
Yeah,
No,
he
it's
never
his
plays
signature's
that. He
guitar.
never ever plays that. But
You got Greg from Mudvayne to play your guitar.
yeah, it was crazy. This is actually a discontinued model. They only had these for like 2008 and between. They stopped, I think, 2010. There was this, and then they had a black model, but obviously a white Flying V badass. You can't
Yeah.
get any better. But it's all mahogany. EMG 81 here in the bridge. The only one. That's all I need really. I never really ever use a neck pickup.
And just a volume pot.
Yeah, just volume, but very simple, very bare bones.
Sounded great, dude.
Uncle
This
Bumpy
is-
man.
So I have a multitude of guitars. I got a lot of Jacksons at home, but this was like my holy grail guitar. When I bought this, I was like, it's like my favorite guitar. It plays the best. It was probably the most expensive guitar I've ever bought, but this is my baby. I love it. It was like stark white when I bought it, but gigging and sweating and like being in bars and cigarette smoke, it's like all creamed and
It's
yellow.
called Road Worn.
Yeah,
It's called
It's
Road
called
Warning.
Off-White. Ever heard
It
of
looks like shadows on the guitar, like right in here, but there's actual stains that are lined all in. I noticed because I changed the strings today, and there's just like stains all just from me sweating all
You're
over
gross.
it. I am
You're
gross.
gross.
I really
Yes.
am. Like it used to be matte finish, and that's all wiped off. But aside from this, my rig, again, Unga Bunga caveman rig, because I refuse to go into the future. Running an EVH 5150 head. That, in my opinion, is the best like tube amp possible. Like Eddie Van Halen really knocked it out of the park with
Yeah.
the 5150s. It just the gain stage on like that preamp. It's like best preamp possible. Like you plug it in and it sounds perfect. Like you don't have to tweak anything on it, and it's just ready to go. It's the best thing.
And then you got a nice little pedal setup over here. Eddie, what do you got on there?
I used to have a lot more on there. Pretty much.
I'll bring it over here for you. Can I unplug it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So ergonomic.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
There you go, man. Here, I'll put your guitar back up.
Thank you. So, I guess we'll start out with the actual pedal board. This is like one of my favorite things I've ever bought. This thing's dirty as all hell. This is a powered pedal board, so you charge it like you would like your computer or your phone, and there's a little button here. Now it's on. You don't have to plug it in. It's great. Pretty much starting out, my Shure Wireless. That is like the godsend, my favorite thing pedal-wise that I have, because I can run anywhere on stage. I'm notorious for when we play, I always run off the stage into the crowd. I do that almost all the time. So I love doing that and not having a cable attached to me. Next in line, my D'Addario tuner. It's a tuner. Give or take, whatever.
Good enough, right?
It's a tuner.
Dario's gonna hate you.
They're coming.
D'Addario hates him.
Daddario, if you're watching, and I know you
And I
are,
know you are.
Alexandra Daddario's going to
Sponsor
come and get
me.
you. I hope
With your lovely. Actually,
She's
I use a
allowed.
lot of D'Addario stuff, but
Nomad powered pedal board.
Yes.
I'd allow it.
Next into that, my MXR chorus. This is probably like the big thing for my tone. I use this a lot because I'm a big fan of 80s music, like a lot of 80s butt rock, but like specifically Zakk Wylde in general. Like I like,
Zakk Wylde.
I love his obnoxious tone, like the chorus and like the super overdriven Marshall, and this is that. Like I get the chorus, the nice little warbly chorus effect, but this also acts as a boost. So like when I hit it, it like noticeably pumps the volume up a little bit, and that's nice. And then this little cute thing. This is probably the first pedal I actually had in the board. The Void Reverb, and I got it for obvious reasons.
Obviously.
And I use this here and there a lot for like clean stuff and just for the little added extra effects sometimes during leads. But yeah, very minimal pedal board. Like there's not a lot on here. I used to have one here.
Dude, you don't even no distortion pedal, huh?
No,
you
they don't-
run that through
that's
the
all
EVH?
the amp. That's
Yeah.
again, that's the best thing about that amp. You don't need a distortion pedal. I might get a boost for it, but it's literally like out of the box. Like that preamp, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's the best one in the market.
Chef
Chef
Tunis.
Tunis.
Chef
Allows you to use two pedals, man.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Exactly.
And then your Helix, I think people have seen a Helix before, but
Yeah, yeah.
I won't bring it up, but
Yeah, so I run actually a very similar rig, just virtually in the Helix. So I'm running a PV Invected model, which is
The
based.
Misha.
Yeah,
Misha,
yeah. So it's based on the classic 5150, just kind of modernized. Misha Mansour from Periphery designed that, and I'm a big Periphery fanboy, so I was attracted. to
I'm
that.
a big boy.
Yeah, I was attracted to that immediately. So I run that. I run very similar pedal setup. It's pretty much exactly what he runs, just kind of all digitized.
all in
there.
one box.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was a big fan of just plugging it into the house.
Yeah.
It worked really well.
Yeah, it has its perks for
Yeah,
sure.
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely very nice. It is.
Yeah, so
Tariq.
Tariq, sorry.
It's,
Tariq.
Yo, it's a hard name.
Um,
It's all good.
baby.
Yeah, I'm just not used to it. It's not like a John or a Mike or whatever.
Nah,
But
it's all good.
Tariq, right?
Yeah.
Tariq. All right, I won't say it wrong again. So now you played an interesting looking kit too. I don't know if anybody caught it in the stream. I won't come over to it.
Yeah.
But you've got just one tom.
Yes,
set?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I think the majority of my like drumming career, I've always used what's called like a 4-piece, which is just a rack tom, floor tom, bass drum, and snare. And that's mainly because a lot of the musicians and drummers that I looked up to when I was growing up, that's what they used. So I just kind of followed suit. But for me, it's also, I guess, like historically speaking, it's reminiscent of a jazz kit, and it's just the idea of keeping everything tight and not having this big varying degree of sound amongst your drums. Just trying to get like a good wall of sound between just like the two toms, and that's it. So yeah, that's what I do. Drum wise, cymbals, I use almost exclusively Zildjian. I ain't sponsored, but Zildjian, if you're watching, and I
Hit
know
us
you
up.
are,
Sponsor Tariq.
yeah, please.
T baby.
Sponsor the entire band here.
Yeah,
We
you
need-
can sponsor me.
we
I
need
need
sponsorship.
Yeah,
Zildjian,
Zildjian, throw
You
me
know-
some cymbals.
They
Yeah.
they don't talk to us out here. We're all out here doing guerrilla warfare as far as music goes.
Yeah, right.
We got Rock Linnets and Taylor Swift was out here like a couple weeks ago building stages.
Yeah.
And they don't even talk to anybody playing original music.
Yeah, well,
They
listen,
need to start.
Taylor
Need to
Swift got
start.
some
Justin Bieber was also here.
Yeah, he shut down the restaurant at
Yeah.
the hotel. Like they wouldn't let anybody
Yeah.
talk to,
Yeah.
to,
Well,
to go in there for lunch.
Taylor Swift got some shit that she got to answer for with these.
Ticketmaster,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I don't think that's her. I think that's
Yeah, but
Well, you
dude,
know
she took a stand on Apple whenever they weren't paying artists very much.
Yeah.
She had a point to make there, but she's kind of got crickets right now. She's like, well, we'll try to do better next time. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's
man, you're
pretty
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Stand up and
do
say,
better now, goddammit.
I'm gonna take all these tickets out of Ticketmaster's hands, and I'm gonna sell them directly on my page to
Right.
OnlyFans, because like,
Oh,
you look,
OnlyFans, nice.
Taylor is only fan.
Why, hold on.
Wait a second, hold on.
She
Wait, stop right there.
Wait, what?
This ain't that kind of podcast.
Wait, what? God damn.
But like seriously, she should stand up and say,
yeah.
I only want my fans at my shows. I don't want you to scout my
Yeah.
tickets for thousands of dollars and
Right.
No,
No, so Zildjian, tell Taylor, get the shit together, and when you're done doing that, send me some shit.
And if Zildjian wants to send me a nice T-shirt, I'll wear it.
Yeah.
I'll
send-
wear a
send
nice
fucking
Zildjian
way.
T-shirt.
So yeah, I use just like I guess like 14-inch hi-hats, 18-inch main hand crash, 18-inch offhand crash, 20-inch ride cymbal, and then my China cymbal, that's actually a Wuhan brand. And it's like a trash China, like filtered, I've always used Wuhan Chinas like my entire musician like career, but sometimes they can be like a little harsh on the attack once you get up to like the bigger sizes. So this is my first time actually using a filtered one like that, and it was just like, oh man, it was sweet, man. That shit was sweet. So I enjoy that. And then pedal wise, I'm just running classic Tama Iron Cobras. You know, yeah, you can't get wrong.
Almost everybody I know drums has Iron Cobras.
Yeah, I mean,
For a reason.
For a reason,
For
man.
a reason.
For a reason.
For a reason.
That baby's got bites.
Yeah, dog. And then stick wise, that literally changes like depending on what I feel like buying. But I've just recently committed though to the 2B size. It's pretty sturdy and it's got like some good length to it. I broke one earlier, like during the live stream.
Good job.
Yeah, you know, it happens, and but that's why I do get like cheap sticks because I'm gonna break them. You know, so it's like you break them, you just toss it, grab another one. But yeah, no, that's pretty much. And then my actual kit that I use is by a brand called D Drum.
Okay.
It's the same kit that I got for like my 18th birthday.
Oh, the drum.
Yeah, the drum.
The drum.
Yeah. But also, what's your drummer's name?
This is Matt's drums, but Jason Roberts is the drummer for
All right.
Bison.
Well,
But this is his drums. The guy running the camera right now, Matt.
Big ups to you, dog. I appreciate you. It's a beautiful kit, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, dude, I loved hearing that double bass killing it. You were killing it with that double bass, man.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
I'm an athlete, so
I could feel it.
I'm a run.
It sounded so great.
No, thank you.
All right, Dylan. So on bass, if you want to reach back there and grab your bass, show us.
you got it.
Oh, watch out for the cord right there. You'll have to put it behind there.
Oh.
Yep, I think you got it. Yep.
Grab it.
So this one just recently came out of the shop. Thanks, Greg, for doing the work on it.
Shout out, Greg.
This is just the Ibanez SR500. It's the low-end model of the high-end stuff.
I have two of them. We have a 5-string in here and a 6-string in here.
The pickups. This is where it really starts to take into account. Like the pickups are great. The body is just solid. They're light. Nice profile in the necks. My other bass that I use, a lot more than this one, but we'll find out. It depends. It's a Jackson Kelly Bird, and it's just one of those like awkward like destroyer type.
Just those fun
things.
shaped guitars.
Yeah, it's got a lot of pointy edges and it looks cool. So
Yeah, geometry.
I like that one.
Yeah. Casting spells
that
and
bass is a lot of
geometry.
fun. It's a little bit different on like the profile for the neck. Like it sits almost like it feels like it's out here instead of like shorter. So.
Yeah, I'm jealous you have a 4 because I play a 6 sometimes and like it's just too much. Like
6 is a lot.
I have to use my pinky a lot to catch the 3rd. Like I can't do 2 because they don't stretch that far. So I end up using like 4. I use the pinky, so I'm playing pinky.
Hey, did
and then I like to
ever
do a lot
tell you ain't gotta do a 6-string?
No, yeah, I know. So Nelson, the guitar player for the Robites, he had a 5-string. So when we played a show last night at Tellus, we backed up band, a Latin band, a guy named Ever Sandoval. So I played his 5-string because the 6-string's too much. It's great to write songs on, but playing live, dude, it's just too much.
Practicing on the 6-string is definitely good. I have an Ibanez SR806, and it's got the one with the fan frets and stuff. It looks even
6 strings
cooler.
are crazy. Anything like more than 5, it's like you're holding a freaking skateboard.
It really engages the mind. Like you have to think about how you're playing.
It does.
Instead of just like naturally feeling like you can play it. That's why I think 4s are just better for shows. Like you can do a lot more. I can like move it around and move a little bit more on stage, which I tried to do a little bit today.
Hell yeah, you did.
Dylan's working on his spin moves.
We'll drop a little Voidhidden knowledge. This new album, we're going to make sure that Dylan can use his 6-string on every song. So Andy and I are moving solely to 8 strings. We are only going to play 8 strings.
And I'm moving the fuck out.
This is going to go from like a live stream / podcast into a snuff film.
But
the guitar's not going to be the only thing headless, right?
There's a reason why none of my guitars go over 6 strings. Like I don't really like 7 strings guitars, not very
Smart
much.
man.
Like
I
would rather play a 6-string that's tuned down because it
I
allows
am
my
of the
playing
same
open
mindset.
chords.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's wild.
I have a couple of 7 strings, and I love playing 7
Here we
strings.
go.
I do not play them for Void stuff because I would be like this guitar
Chastised.
decapitated
Headless.
in the
I
event.
light him on fire like a witch.
Yes.
Burn him at the stake.
But
I wouldn't hurt him, but I'd make him feel like I was gonna hurt him.
I think they're fun tools. It's just like a tool. It's an instrument for a particular job, but not all people feel that same way.
Well, the same job can be accomplished with the 6 string that's tuned to B, drop
Correct.
B. So
Correct.
you know, just
Hey,
use the
listen,
drop
dog.
B.
Yeah, but
you
that's
know.
one less string, and Greg likes them.
Did you ever just feel like, oh man, I'm on these 6 strings, but I feel like I just run out of strings?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that
That's
doesn't happen.
because you
That doesn't happen to me. I don't have that problem.
That's
I got
only
6.
because he
That's
breaks
good. I even
That's
get 6
true.
string basses
Yeah,
because I
that's
love
true.
6 strings.
No,
Dylan's
see,
correct.
that's, but even that's too, so like I play bass as well. And I was definitely a like a pop punk kid and like metalcore and stuff like that. And
kid.
4 strings on a bass is like, bro, that's all you need.
That's what feels
Like that's all you
Bro,
need.
This
Like,
is a band of purists.
That's all
and
you
you
need.
don't go outside.
I
the
do
convention.
really like a 5 string because you can hit that B and you can get that D without having to drop your instrument, so that's nice. But
Yeah, the D is usually really nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
D,
for
the
real.
D
That's
is
what she
really
said.
nice. The office.
Probably the last thing that goes into my bass sound is if you're a bassist at this point in time and you're not using a dark glass, you just gotta get one.
Yeah.
doing it wrong.
Dark
Is
glass
that, is that
pedals.
this piece right
yeah,
here?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna bring it up so people can see it.
So I'm running an Alpha Omega as well as just a standard, a little bit of reverb and a compressor. So
I'll put your bass back up on the stage. Yeah. I'm afraid to hit that. chord.
so this one here is the Alpha Omega. Or the Omicron because I'm a cheap ass, but you know it's got your drive. It's got the models for the Alpha Omega side. I typically run on the Alpha side pretty much directly, just the Alpha side, a little bit of Omega, and then you can keep it leveled in. What's really nice about this pedal is you can blend it and remove the overdrive or the distortion completely, and then like just barely take it up just so you get that little bit of razzle on the bass
The
string.
old
Razzle
razzle.
dazzle.
But make sure you don't get any dazzle.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
And then, you know,
That's too trebly.
We don't
You
try
can't
to
have
do
any
that
dazzle on your
territory.
bass.
I don't broker in dazzle.
Oh, the dazzle. It's too bright.
Like Andrew, I got the wireless. I mean, Greg's also got a wireless. So the reverb here, it's always nice to just have a breath of reverb on bass. It just adds like a little bit more like bottom to it, and just like body to
We like big
everything.
bottoms.
Which is what the bass is supposed to do, you know. And then just Spectracomp just to, you know, have a little bit of compression for when I'm doing like harmonics and stuff on the bass.
Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
big butt, but a tight butt.
Back up here
Gotta
for
keep
you.
the rig tight.
Yeah.
Well, that's a rig rundown. Vocal guy.
Yeah.
What's special about your vocals?
Not shit.
Nothing. So I grew up like doing a lot of like vocal work when I was a kid in a ton of different like avenues. Like I first started singing stuff like in church, and then like moving on from there, like I did a lot of stuff with school. I did a lot of like the like traditional choir type things, and because of that, it's kind of colored a lot of my the rest of my like vocal styles. I'm very like there's a lot of times where I kind of dig into like the operatic side of things and like add a lot of like vibrato in what I'm singing. But my favorite thing to do like with my vocal style is that I love being able to like change it and put it into like certain avenues. Like Dylan was saying, we used to go and do karaoke all the time, and I would go up and sing like Andy and I would go up and sing like a Papa Roach song, and then I would sign up and I would go sing a Michael Jackson song, and it's like I love being able to vary that, and that's one of the things I like about our particular music style is like not every song is the exact same type of like vocals.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, I really enjoy your vocals.
Thanks.
We talked about them a lot, being on that higher end of the pitch. But you have a pretty good range. So I mean, when you listen to the whole album and you listen to everything that's on there, you really get some. And then these guys helping you back up by screaming.
Yeah, I
Just shouting our faces off.
I dabble in screams here and there, but because of the type of music that we sing and because of like my particular tastes, it takes a lot of like breath control to do those like really high registers and those long notes. So changing immediately how you sing into like a screaming style by like tightening up the throat and like pushing it from a different area, it really does kind of like exhaust you on
Quite
stage.
taxing.
Yeah, so I'm thankful to have people that can fill in those areas because I always liked harsh vocals and stuff, but I don't want to force them in if it's going to make other parts of the song suffer.
Yeah, and it definitely takes a tax on you because I mean I sing and I do some scream stuff. We've covered some System of a Down. We have some songs that are heavier, and it's like just that getting worn down if you're going from freaking playing a System of a Down song and then the next thing you're playing Queen.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I need to space that out a little bit because you go from screaming and being like real high energy to something like Don't Stop Me Now, which is high energy, but it's on a different level because Freddie Mercury didn't scream. Nobody screamed back then.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going from basically just like shredding your larynx into just operatic clean vocals. So it's just like, help me.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Even with what we play now, there's a lot of times where we're talking about like, hey, let's go. Like specifically when we were gonna come here and we were trying to like compose the set list. A lot of the times I will take a look at the set list and be like, okay, I know that this song and this song, you shouldn't sing them back to back. You got to separate those things out. So, and I think a lot of times, like fresher vocalists, they just try to find like, oh, this is when the song would sound the best in the set, and sometimes that's not the best way to do it. Sometimes you have to like you have to really consider your physical limitations, and then change what you have to in order to be successful.
Yeah, and like. I mean, off no hype shit, obviously, I'm biased, but, like, Austin is such an incredible vocalist. Like, and not just, like, vocalist, but performer in general, but he's
got the razzle and the dazzle.
He's got... My man broke out the razzle and
I saw you guys duking it out a couple times on stage. That was cool.
No, he's
full of piss and vinegar, that one.
A little firecracker. But, no, he's so talented, and we have like an embarrassment of riches in this band when it comes to vocal talent because not only does Austin like handle everything like lead wise on his own, but he's being supplemented by Greg and like it's easy to like talk about like the screams and everything like that, but the thing that always impresses me the most about Greg's vocals is his ability to harmonize with Austin, who has, as we've said, he's got like this crazy range, right? So Greg, seeing him like work on that from the beginning to now, where it's like he fits right in there, and that's not easy like at all. So it's very impressive. And then Andy's gonna like sell himself short. But like, bro, my man can sing. Like he can sing. He can sing. I'm telling you.
Night of the Solstice, man. All three of the vocal harmonies in there were great. And like you were covering the low end on that.
Yeah.
Right? On nights you were covering like the mid, and then you had the high.
That's something we've been like progressively adding to. Because when we first wrote that song, we had an idea that like me and Greg were gonna kind of do something at the end. But as we've like perfected that song, and in a sense we were like, oh, it would be cool if we added like a third vocal in there because then you get that like, oh wow, what is happening at the end of this thing?
No, it is, but like I said, I don't think I could like stress that enough. It's a straight up embarrassment of riches when it comes to like vocal talent.
Dude, like Van Halen had excellent vocal talent. Queen had
that is the most
vocal
underrated thing specifically about everyone says like, man, Eddie. Like Roth is vocal, but like the thing is about that band, Eddie Van Halen, like one of my favorite guitar players, but no one ever talks about the vocal talent of that band. Like it's like a doo-wop band, but like harsh guitar.
Dude, and people love things like Eruption. I like Eruption.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love Eruption?
Everybody likes "Girl, You Really Got Me Now."
I'll slap the shit out of anybody.
But then you have a song like "Dance the Night Away," which has like doo-wop vocals.
Oh yeah,
on
like
there. Siri's trying to play it now. So, but that's like one of those songs that's like severely underrated. It's like just a great dance song to take to any like
There's
cover
so
band.
many Van Halen, like so many because it's radio's fault. It's like they're gonna play Ain't Talking About Love, You Really Got Me, Eruption. Those are the three they're always gonna play. But Van Halen has such a rich catalog of just stuff like that. Like Can't Wait to Feel Your Love Tonight, Dance the Night Away. You hear those vocals and they're so harmonious. Like I can't wait to feel, and then all the other vocals come in. It's like such layers that come in, and like that's like to me, like, just extremely good songwriting. Like, there's all the technical ability in the world, but, like, just the craftsmanship of, like, writing a good song like that just blows me away.
Yeah.
And same with Queen, too. Like, obviously, enough can't be said about Queen.
Well, Freddie
goes
Mercury
without
on the
saying.
records mostly did all his own harmonies.
Yeah,
But then when
exactly.
you would see live,
Yeah,
right,
they
right.
have everybody else put them in
Yeah,
there.
no,
but,
absolutely.
you know, it's I mean, it's really great having you on the show. We're kind of getting long on the time, but
Sure.
I wanted to cover some stuff around your songs, but you know, I think we want people to come listen to the album.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to the whole album, Mesmer. I've listened to both the EP all the way through. Listened to it several times in preparation for this. I would personally, if anybody was talking to me about what songs to hit this, I know you guys have your favorites,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
but from my side, that Prince of the Mire, which was the first one you played, fucking phenomenal amount of fucking pounding drums in that thing, dude.
Yeah.
The drums are really the star of that song, and I think
I
people
agree.
who are really into drums and drum beats need to listen to that song. I already told you I like 144 Homestead.
Mhm.
Sunder the Night, like that is a good
Groovy.
song. Everybody
That's
should listen to that
groovy.
one.
I'm actually like low key pretty proud of that song.
I am, too. I was just about to
because
say that.
So we were talking earlier how we love like storytelling in songs, and it is a well-known fact and with a lot of like songwriters that it is hard to write songs that tell stories because it's very easy to not tell enough or tell too much, and then the song goes long. And I always err on the side of like less is more, because I like allowing the listener to kind of use the theater of the mind to create what they think is happening. Like there's a lot of stuff in the song that will tell you exactly what's going on, but it's very easy to be like, you know, that means that this to me, when and what I wrote for it is something completely different.
Well, I got the impression of like mind flayers taking over people's minds and like putting it in the cold. I don't know if that's what you were going for there. Like
That
maybe you can
song
tell me.
is almost it's almost explicitly on my end about like a vampire-esque creature, because if you listen in like the first verse, he talks about like hidden from the mirror that's hanging over your bed, like you can't get the reflection, or in the chorus when it's like please let me inside, like you have to give them permission to come in.
Or just that last, 30 seconds a minute? Children of the Night.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't have to explicitly be any particular type of creature, but that's kind of what I was getting.
Yeah,
at.
I mean,
like,
a mind flayer is like vampire.
right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's whatever you want it to be, because a lot of the things about the stuff that I write and the things that I like to write about is you're afraid of the thing that you don't know. So like you put mind flayer into that because you're like, oh man, this is what I think would be scary in this moment, and what Greg thinks or what anyone thinks would be like something completely different.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
No, Kevin McAllister.
Oh no, he is scary.
Yeah.
He'll electrocute you.
Yeah, he'll throw glass on the floor and
Aftershave, man.
everything.
You got aftershave.
He'll shock you to death.
Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Shocking.
He'll get lost in New York, that
Right.
rascal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean that's a great song. I mean I really liked it. You know, obviously when you listen to the lyrics in these songs, you got to put that story lens on, because you have stuff like in Deep Calling, you say, "You be the altar, I'll be the knife." It's like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of out there. And then there's other songs where you explicitly talk about killing things. And, and stuff like that. Which I don't know if you played a lot of those tonight, but
I think we played like everything tonight.
yeah, you played all the really good stuff.
Deep Calling is very much like is like kind of that as well. It's but at the same time, it's also kind of like molded to be in something that the listener is like, ooh, what are they talking about? Ooh, maybe I think it's this. But the altar and the knife line, there is like a completely esoteric like story reason for it in order to like summon the thing that's talking to the narrator in the song. But in a more realistic sense, the altar and the knife line is kind of I'm the one or you and I are both parts of like creating magic. So like me being the knife and them being the altar, it's like, oh, we're putting something in between us that creates like a sense of magic. And that's like the realistic lens on it.
Okay.
I mean, you can. It's written in a very dark manner, but it actually kind of has some lighter connotations.
It's a love song.
Yeah. Sacrifice.
I've got a couple of those in there.
And,
You
and
just
on
don't
that
know it.
song in particular, because talking about some of the music in it, I was really impressed, Dylan, with you locking in the bass, like almost the whole song, especially like around the 2:30 mark when it does that shift. Like you really just lock into that. And I'm like, man, if somebody wants to learn how to play bass and wants to learn pocket bass, they should be listening to Deep Calling because Dylan is killing it right there.
I will second that. Dylan is like drums are obviously the foundation. Dylan is like the foundation of this band. Like he plays so well in the pocket, and it's just. I don't know how he does it.
It's effortless.
Dude,
mind-bendingly
it's his 5 fingers. Did you see him? He was going like this on that top string, man. That's how he stays in the pocket. He goes, come here, I tickle you. He's got Cthulhu fingers over here.
He's got tentacle hands.
A fantastic job on bass, man, on that one. And then, of course, Nice to the Solstice with the harmonies. We kind of talked about those a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have killer music, and like everybody in the area should check it out.
I just
Thank you.
Just
Thank you
one
very much.
just one thing I do just got to put out there. First of all, thank y'all so much for the compliment about the driving drums in Prince. But just for like context and everything we've played here tonight, I didn't write any of that, right? All of that was written by an incredibly talented dude named Ashton Myers. And Ashton, if you're watching this, and we know that you are, he's so incredibly talented, and
he's watching with Zilda Jin at their headquarters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's like, okay, now you can. He's like, okay, now you can. But no, he's incredibly talented, and it has been learning his parts has made me such a better musician, and I definitely, I don't play everything he did note for note. A lot of it is like my interpretation of it.
He does it his way, and there's nothing wrong with it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, you have that. Like, whenever you have a switch in a band, like Chris Penny came to Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
I don't know if you guys knew, but Dave Grohl played all the drums on.
He did.
No World for Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
That's
is in that gap when they had lost their drummer
Right.
from the second one. So.
Yeah, I mean, recording wise, and I've said this a million times, but that No Word for Tomorrow is my like ideal recording sound.
Oh,
it
yeah.
It is so good. It is beyond good.
Which you guys captured some of that in the drums. When you
yeah.
recorded this, like I could tell that the drums were like
Yeah.
very well produced.
Yeah,
you told me
I can't take
earlier
any
who
credit
did
for
that was
that.
Chris.
Yeah, so we worked
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked on Mesmer with Chris Kelly, who's a great guy and an incredible producer. He was with a studio in New York for a long time, and when we worked with him, he went out on his own. He's now the lead guitarist for Ice Nine Kills, so he's out there touring and living his dream, and we can sit jealously and just watch him. But he's incredible, and a lot of the songs, as they are on Mesmer, were not that way before we came out of the studio.
Yeah, the reason why they sound so good is just his magic hands.
Chris, yeah. For example, Sunder of the Night has a lot of layers. It's a song that has a lot of layers that all come together to give this sound. All those layers were not there originally in the song, but working with Chris and sitting and listening to things and deciding we're going to add some octaves in the chorus, we're going to add a little bit of synth in the background just to kind of bring these things together. I mean, that was all Chris.
Yeah.
So we can't give him enough credit.
We
for
learned a lot from him, just musically and writing.
That was the
things
first
and-
time I was like, oh, he's like a professional.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, legitimately.
Okay.
When they released Mesmer, like I said, I was just a friend at that time. And when they released Mesmer and I listened to it for the first time, it did actually stop me dead in my tracks. And I kind of looked and I was like, oh my god, these are my friends.
Yeah, like
holy
when I
shit,
first heard
these
those-
are my friends.
When I heard those
like,
final mixes for the first time, I was like, a local band can sound this good?
yeah, that's what it blew.
I was like,
it blew
what?
my mind. It absolutely blew my
He
mind.
bounced those tracks over, and I was like, my eyeballs popped out of my head. I was like, what?
It's, There's a lot of. I don't want to say it's easy, but it is way easier now than it was to get into that game. To like being the producer type thing, and he has the like practical experience as well as the like technical knowledge to make all that stuff work because he's been on both sides, but he gets it.
Yeah. So Chris, we love you. Thank you for
Chris,
everything you
if
did.
you're watching,
If
we'll let you on.
If you're in Japan or wherever you're touring right now, think of me and have a sweet dinner because I said that I loved you.
And follow me back on Instagram whenever you get a chance. It's all right.
There's one recording trick that I picked up from Chris, and he literally would be like, "Greg, what strings are you playing?" And then he would take his magic hands and he would mute the string that you're not.
There's
every single instrument. He did that with every single person.
There's a great video of I have it somewhere. We should put it on the Facebook of recording Prince of the Mire when Andy does that bridge part, that da-da-da-da-da-da part of Chris just lovingly reaching over. And holding while he's tracking strings. Yeah.
I have to remember that trick because
Yeah.
I struggle when I play, especially unless I'm playing finger picking style. I can't mute a lot of things when I'm doing it. It's hard to be accurate in that regard. So I'll have to remember that trick when we go to record.
Just have someone else just go.
Put a mute over there.
Stop it.
That's enough.
Stop it right there.
That's enough.
Well, guys, I'm gonna ask a couple closeout questions, and we'll get you back to your house. I mean, thank you again for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
For sure.
seriously.
I mean, I really
Great
enjoyed
time.
it. I think it goes over really well. I want to have more
Yeah.
bands come out here. So if you guys know other people in the area,
100%. We
Yeah,
know.
no,
Send
we're
them out
putting-
here.
We're putting people on
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've got.
yeah.
I mean, we know some bands that are relatively established in the area, and we also know some pretty new bands. So I mean, we'll definitely put your name out there.
Yeah.
awesome. Well, what's next for you guys? You mentioned something about another album that you're working on right now.
Yeah, we're writing right now.
We're expecting.
We're expecting an album.
An album.
We're writing right now, which has been a little bit different for us. Our writing process beforehand was pretty much just getting all together and playing and kind of letting things flesh out. We're doing things a little bit differently this go round. Now that we have the technology to just kind of, either Andy or I'll track the skeleton of what we think for a song. It then goes to
And
T.
skeletons are awesome. Everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
Yes.
yeah. They'll pull your hair.
It
out,
then
but
goes
not
to
out.
T. He's going to map out the drums, and then goes to Austin, and then to Dylan. So we can kind of piecemeal these together to have an idea when we all get together to then flesh out the finer details. So we're getting to take a little bit more time with this one than we did with Mesmer. So we kind of have an idea for some stories plotted out, and we have some
Nice.
riffs that Andy and I are really excited about. So we're looking forward to getting it tracked and getting it out there.
Speaking of that, sorry. Go
Oh, I
ahead.
was just gonna say we don't have a solid timeline for it to come out yet, but we'd like to release it sometime next year.
Okay. Well, when you guys release it, come back.
Yeah.
We'll have a release party, man.
That'd be cool.
I'd love to hear your album. I'd like to get the first listen on it, do a review of it, man.
absolutely.
Like I said, when I heard you guys at Phantom Power a few weeks ago, I was like, man, this band's great. And I actually had to leave your set early.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little upset. Well, I didn't leave your set. We had things going on, and I had to go talk to some other people, so I missed part of your songs. But as soon as I got in the car, I got your album up, and I was like, yeah, I really want to have them on my show. So I'm glad you guys came out.
Cool, yeah.
And
Yeah, no,
we're gonna
really
get
good.
when we get the poster board up here, we'll put your sticker up.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to change into the Voidhidden shirt, but if you guys want to buy some merch, I don't know what.
Merc.
My daughter has scolded me about using merc over merch. Like I have to use
merchandise.
Merchandise.
But if you guys, this is a sick ass shirt. I'm gonna be wearing it everywhere I go to make sure, and that's gonna be my thing now. This is I'm gonna get T-shirts, man.
Yeah.
Because one thing that really builds a local group is it's great to wear a Coheed shirt,
Sure.
a Nirvana shirt, but
Yeah.
those dudes have had their shit. I'd like to see bands wearing each other's band gear
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
There's a band called Seglock I saw up there. I don't know if you
Sure.
guys played with them. They do horror themed punk.
Okay.
And I want to get one of their shirts. I want to get a bunch of people's shirts
Yeah.
and just wear them everywhere because
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's
Word of mouth
because
is how you get
just. I noticed a lot of local bands, they have cool T-shirts, and it's good promotion for all the bands because when everyone starts just wearing local band shirts, High Tides raises all ship. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone just starts wearing each other's shirts. It's good promotion for everyone.
You can't build a scene, man, if
Exactly.
you don't have the cooperation of the people in the scene.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
Seattle didn't come because Nirvana was badass.
Right.
Seattle happened because you had Nirvana playing with Pearl Jam, playing with STP.
Everyone Soundgarden.
And everybody sounded awesome, and they were super talented, but it was a lot of building up and playing shows.
And you want
with
to support each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
We're all in
whenever
this together.
whenever big wigs in like record companies or whatever start noticing that there is a very active like music scene in an area, that's when they start showing up and being like, oh, I like
Dude,
this
they're
band
already
or I really-
fucking here. They're
Yeah,
like
right,
right,
right.
yeah,
like,
right over
literally,
there.
like,
They're a
5
mile away
minutes
from
that
this
way.
place. And like you know, I don't see anything but
Yeah.
punching down sometimes.
Right.
Like especially here,
Yeah.
like Lidditch should have way more music venues
Yeah.
than they do. But there was a few instances where the RIAA or the recording industry
Mm-hmm.
came in and demanded money from some small businesses that couldn't really afford it. So now you have like 2 stages down at Toy Soldier. Nobody plays there.
Yeah.
Because the lady doesn't want to pay the royalties to have people in there, and then
Yeah.
original music doesn't bring in people.
Right.
Doesn't bring in people,
Yeah.
and so they don't hire you unless you have covers. But if you don't pay the money to the and rightfully so. I'm not gonna dig that. I mean, they're there protecting the copyrights for their artists. Totally get that. I mean, that's something that we should strive for. But it makes it harder for a scene to flourish somewhere like this. And we really need the cooperation from the music energy in places like Rock Lidditz and Tate Tower to take a notice of the bands that are out here because there's some talent.
It's not like everyone's asking for a handout, but like just those the big wigs, like they need to like put a handout, like, and that's the big thing that needs to happen for a scene, specifically in this area, because there's so many good bands in this in this area, like let alone Pennsylvania as a general, but like just in like the greater Harrisburg area, like York, Lancaster, like
717.
717.
Yeah.
There's so many good bands, and just the unfortunate thing is like so many of just go unheard.
Yeah.
Which is like some people are fine with that, but it's just they deserve to be heard. And that's the thing.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm trying to put up here with the tempo.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to come out here. This, we're based in Lidditz, but you can have a tempo anywhere. If
Yeah.
anybody wants a franchise, let me know. I'm looking for somebody in New York
Franchise this
City with
man.
some shit.
Yeah,
So just let me know, man. I'll hook you up. But
I have a question for you, real quick. So how?
Got a cute boyfriend?
Yes.
I'm married.
Do you want one? No. My question for you is how do you think local artists should go about maneuvering through a scene that is more and more going towards tribute bands, cover bands?
That's an
and things
extremely
like
good
that.
question that I feel like a lot of people aren't addressing.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard for original artists.
Yeah, original artists. Like, what do you think local original artists should be doing to navigate that scene and also continue to put themselves in the conversation?
Yeah, because you get to a point, I would say at least for us, like you hit a ceiling. Like it's hard to really rise above playing like the same couple bars just over and over and over again, and everyone it's spinning wheels at that point. So it's just
honestly, in my opinion, I mean, it's really about getting the community together and putting on your own shows.
Yeah.
There's no noise ordinance in Warwick Township. That's where I'm at. There's no noise ordinance here. We had a party out here last year for Halloween. We were running 2 big mains, 2 15s out here and just playing. They couldn't do anything. I called the police, made sure they knew we were doing it. And, said, and they were like, "Oh, shut it down by 9:30." And you're good, but I mean, you could play anywhere.
Right.
And if you have like a group like the Tempo, where you have people that are willing to live stream and do these kind of things with original music, that's how you reach out, and you work together. Like we should be working with the promoters that are promoting original music and taking it, not just. Phantom Power's a great place to go. The church up in Lebanon's a great place to go for original
We're trying to
music.
get in there. We got some connections in there. We're gonna hopefully book soon.
You guys definitely need to.
Yeah.
And I go up there pretty frequently and see the bands, but like go out and see each other play.
Yeah.
Get to know the people. Don't just show up at the gig because you're gonna play and then leave right afterwards. Stay for the whole time. Network with people. That's like super important. Like everybody comes to a show and they know they're gonna play and they're like, "Oh, I'm the star today." Well, you're here to play and you're here to work with other people.
Not
in the
me.
community.
Nobody is more embarrassed than me when I go up there. I am like the furthest from Mr. Rockstar mentality. Like I may look like fun and confident up there, but like I guarantee you, I'm up there like I'm gonna piss my pants.
And he does frequently.
Mom, can you come pick me up? I'm scared.
I peed my pants on stage and
I peed my pants on stage again.
But seriously, that question that you asked, I mean, that's perfect. I mean, you got to throw covers in a lot of times just to show up at some places if you're trying to make money doing it. And that's the other thing you got to think about when you're doing original music. Don't be thinking like you're gonna be making money right away.
It's a love of the game.
I spend way more money than I've ever made on any song.
Like
I've ever
I and we probably all do. Like we get the classic questions from like our family and parents, like, "Oh, you make any money at that show?" And I'm like,
No.
"No, we
No.
may
Good
even."
joke, Grandma.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
and
I
that
have a job
speaks-
for that.
And that speaks a lot to just the way the nature of the music industry
Correct,
is now. Like
yes.
if you go to Spotify, there are like 5 million songs.
It's
posted a
embarrassing
day.
how much
Yeah.
money Spotify gives artists. It is embarrassing.
They
how
don't
much-
they don't give them any money, and but part of the problem is the supply is so readily.
Yeah.
So when you look at Spotify and you
Saturated.
see a new music
Super
band, there's
saturated.
like 500 songs or more a day being
Yeah.
released every single day. How do you shift through that to find the good stuff? It's a bunch of minutia.
Yeah.
So
Right.
having a local scene like we have here, where we can actually talk and reach out to each other and get it. That's how you cut through the minutia.
Yeah.
And another thing, man. Like I write a lot of different songs. I like all genres, write everything: country, rock, rap, whatever. I can't really play all of that, So one thing I want to do is start bringing people in to do writing conferences and like
Right.
maybe you got to drop a little bit of your ego, man. If we want bands to
Yeah.
come out, there's jewels that people are writing
Yeah.
that don't necessarily fit their band,
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of those jewels that are just sitting around. I've been writing songs for 20 years, and if people are willing to write music with me, or God forbid, take a song that I wrote and then play it in their band, I'm all for that. Like I can help write music. You like my songs, we played a couple in between. We had some audio issues, but
Right.
those are the kind of songs that I write that don't necessarily always have a home. And if we can, get these songs out there, good songs that other people are writing. Yeah, you wrote a pop ballad. It didn't quite fit your punk band that
Right.
you're going for. What? Maybe there's a pop band out there that would
Sure.
like to take that on and for it. So
We
sharing
once wrote a
music.
song called "Batman Likes Pizza."
Hey man, that might fit
for obvious
somewhere.
reasons, didn't make it to the album, but
But it might be great
it still
for a
sits in
parody
the
band,
annals
man.
of Voidhidden history.
It might be a great song for a parody band. You don't know. So sharing our music and sharing our talent, mixing.
Didn't you do like a rap one night while we were recording too?
Oh yeah. I mean,
That- That's pretty on point too.
All right, well, Voidhidden tonight, everybody. I really think, I hope, I haven't seen the streams. I've been concentrating on making it sound good and look good. So apologize for not being on the chat if there's people in there, asking us questions. We'll try to get better at that. Hopefully, this is the first show, so we're always going to make some hiccups. I just hope it sounded good. I hope it looked good. I hope you enjoyed Voidhidden. And if you are interested in joining our page or coming in here and doing a stream or these interviews, please get out to me on Facebook, Instagram.
This is a good
Twitch.
spot.
Yeah.
Everyone,
It's amazing.
local artists.
You'll definitely
yeah.
benefit from doing it.
Yeah, and if you in Mechanicsburg like we are, bro, this shit was under an hour to get here.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
worth
yeah.
it. It's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Get a hold of these guys too. Set up some shows with them. Play in your backyard, man.
Please.
That's how
Yeah,
we
no.
set a scene.
We will
That's
play
how we set a
anywhere and
scene.
everywhere.
Yeah. New Year's Eve. If anybody doing anything New Year's Eve,
So
Hit your boys
Tyler,
up.
yeah,
hit us
New
up,
Year's
God
Eve.
damn it.
We might plan something. I'll let you know if we do.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I can't
shit.
promise anything. But I'll close this out and say one thing. So a long time ago, I was in a punk band, 20 plus years ago, and we used to rent storage sheds for a month, and then just all these really shitty punk bands would show up in these short storage sheds with power, and then we'd play out of storage sheds. And that's how we tried to create a scene. This was
that's our
in the middle of
whole
nowhere,
beginnings.
Ohio. So the scenes exist.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get complaints and calls if you do it in the wrong place. But I mean, get out there and make music, guys. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And
Do
I really appreciate you guys again tonight
We
coming out.
appreciate
Thank you so much for having us.
And
It was a great
We'll
time.
have you back when that next album comes out.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm gonna stop the stream now, but thanks everybody online.